The Dallas Mavericks beat your Brooklyn Nets. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, and gambling. Spencer Dimwitty with the buzzer beater in Brooklyn. Talk about that game and more. LeBron's effort level, really great. But it's March Madness Day. What's up, y'all? Nick, why is the podcast late? Because I'm staying up late to watch these goddamn basketball games. I live in the East Coast, and it is just garbage. Do overtimes between Notre Dame and Rutgers to decide who's the most Catholic? Stop it. Notre Dame is. They won. Saw the best joke online that Notre Dame didn't win until after midnight. They weren't allowed to win until it was officially St. Patrick's Day. They beat Rutgers 89-87. They are in March Madness. Well, I guess that kind of was March Madness. I've got Notre Dame / Rutgers going to the Final Four in one of my two brackets. Why? Because it happens. I talked about it yesterday. Also, Wright State beat Bryant. Holy shiza. 93 points? 93-82, Wright State beat Bryant. Bryant had the leading scorer in the tournament. No more. The first game of the day. Michigan versus Colorado State. The Big Ten and the Mountain West have a tendency to crap the bed in this tournament. Already, we had a Big Ten Mountain West game, and both teams were trying very hard to crap the bed. Wyoming out-crapped Indiana. Sorry to my UK listeners. That's a very bad word in the United Kingdom. South Dakota State Providence, that's going to be a great game, I think. That's going to be honestly, what a weird way to start, because I think South Dakota State's going to beat Providence. I have them. Let's go through our bracket. I want to start with this bracket. Okay, should I bring it up for you guys? You want to see? You want to roast me? You can see it on YouTube. Okay, just for games that are today, I guess I should cross-reference this first, right? I'm like making love to my coffee. My Final Four are Gonzaga, Notre Dame, Arizona, Villanova. Gonzaga, Notre Dame, Arizona, Villanova. I've got Duke and Notre Dame coming up later in the Elite Eight. Other interesting things that I think I have is I've got Colorado State, Tennessee. Did I have South Dakota State to beat Providence? Because that sounds like something that I would want to do. We'll address that later. Other interesting things that you might want to stay away from. Free throw percentage matters a lot in this. You want to be able to hit your free throws to win these games. Villanova has the best free throw percentage in the country. I've got Villanova to win the Natty. I also like Wisconsin to go to the Final Four. Other things that I don't like that I think are overrated. St. Mary's had a great year, but not that great. A lot of people are going to say Iowa's hot. I think they're too hot. They were hot at the end of the year. Then they were hot at the tournament. Same thing with Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech a little too hot. They're ripe for the picking as well. I think they're going to beat Texas because, like, Texas is one of those schools, just like Purdue, they can't have anything nice. Whoever Purdue's playing just put a lot of consideration into a massive Purdue upset at a reasonable time. Like, not in the Elite Eight, like right now. I'm not going to go through the entire schedule for today, but the first game, Michigan, Colorado State, then South Dakota State, Providence, Memphis, and Boise will be the big ones. So two Mountain West schools throwing down pretty quick, and then the 116 is Baylor and Norfolk State. First 2 days of the tournament are the best. That's what it really, really matters the most, in my opinion. I love the first 2 days of the tournament. We'll bring up the schedule here on YouTube.com just for you guys. There it is. We'll be tracking storylines and gambling and whatnot. Take a look at the favorites. Gonzaga by a lot. They're favored by a lot. They're have more than double odds of Arizona to win this thing. They're plus 270. Arizona plus 600. I like Villanova, who's plus 2,000. That's crazy. They're a 2 seed. The heavy favorites are Gonzaga, Arizona, and Kentucky. Those three, man, Vegas really likes those three. Really, really likes them. Where's Duke? Plus 17. Yeah, I like Villanova. I'd sprinkle Villanova, a little sprinkle bet, just like a little sprinkle. So back to basketball last night. I got a couple highlights for you. This is for the YouTube crowd. I don't know if there's any sound on this video, but if you bring it up on YouTube, bam, there it is. Watch this air ball and then watch this. So Russell Westbrook, I have to tell myself to say his name right. Russell Westbrook, not Russell Westbrick. He airballs this three, and then watch the guy that rebounds it. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, what? What? He just passed it to me. What? Look at him. What? That's hilarious. Okay, let's take the... Wait, no, we'll get out of that in a second. This is what I want. Listen to Kevin Durant tell this guy to sit down and shut the fuck up.
You got to take this game over.
Did you hear that? The fan was like, Kev, you got to take this game over one more time.
Kev, you got to take this game over. You got to shut the fuck up and sit down.
Well, let's hear Kevin's response.
You got to shut the fuck up and sit down.
You got to shut the fuck up and sit down. Oh, man, that's funny. That's the funny part about heckling basketball players. They can hear it. You're 100% sure they can hear it. You're 100% sure they can hear it. NFL news yesterday. Big signing. Broke late in the evening. Von Miller, former Denver Broncos Super Bowl MVP and just a powerhouse force for the Rams Super Bowl run, is signing with the Buffalo Bills. 6 years, up to $120 million. That's not the real deal. The real deal is 3 years, $53 million, which is still enormous. Buffalo is quote-unquote all in. They also signed O.J. Howard. As we take a look at the NFL free agency tracker, let's look at some of the best free agents still remaining. The number one overall free agent is still remaining, Teron Armstead, the left tackle for the Saints. Allen Robinson, wide receiver for the Bears. Stephon Gilmore, former cornerback for the Panthers last year, but you might remember him from being the best cornerback and best defensive player in football 2 years ago. Bobby Wagner, the middle linebacker for the Seahawks. He was cut. Tyrann Mathieu, which apparently he was going to the Raiders, then he wasn't. Safety for the Chiefs. Trent Brown, tackle for the Patriots. Akeem Hicks, defensive tackle for the Bears. Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end for the Browns. Dwayne Brown, offensive tackle for the Seattle Seahawks. And Rob Gronkowski is going to the Bucs. A video surfaced of him yesterday saying that he was probably coming back to the Bucs. It's a high likelihood, he said. Yeah, I bet it is, Gronk. I bet it is. So let's get to our top story today, though. The one that let's get to controversial Thursday. This woman, Laura Wagner, I guess I'll bring the tweet up. She tweeted the following thing. One day, I really, really will write about the women in sports media who look around and crunch the numbers and reach the accurate conclusion that their success hinges largely on their willingness to play the hot girl who is also one of the guys. Mina Kimes, who is one of the most successful women in sports media history, said, how about women in sports media who shit on other women over trivial things for self-righteous reasons? And then Laura responded to Mina, not everything is about you, but thanks for the epic own. I think Laura Wagner is what's wrong with women in sports. Women belong in sports. Women belong everywhere, of course. But I've had this spicy take, and I'll just put this on the internet. Nobody gets in the way of female success more than females. Why, Laura? Why? I mean, is it jealousy? Is it anger? Is it anger at the system? I don't understand. And what's hot? Who gets to decide what a hot girl is? Who gets to decide that? Yes, Barstool seems to find young women out of college, and they're much let's call those girls at barstoolsports.com healthier than the gross men that work there. Those guys are gross. But for the most part, a lot of the dudes on sports media are also hot. But what is hot? And why are you and what is this? And you know what else we found? I'm going to bring this up, or I'm going to look it up real quick. Go to twitter.com. I forgot to do this. I should have done this. I'm going to do it right now. Laura, this is just incredible radio. Somebody found her. She had tweeted that exact hot take like multiple times. I wonder if she deleted that tweet. I bet she did. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. So let's just go through the Twitter. Let's just scroll the Twitter. There's Mina Kimes. There's Doris Burke, a legend. Also Holly Rowe, a legend. Listen, this is how often she tweeted this herself. Here it is. We'll bring it up on the screen. That's not a good view of it. 3 minutes ago, one day I really will. Then on June 20th, 2021, well, I really would one day like to read someone write about the set of rules women in sports media must follow in order to succeed and how that incentivizes certain work and behavior while discouraging other work and behavior and what women in the field think about all of that. Then 2 years earlier, on October 23rd, 2019, she tweeted, I think about a related topic a lot when I look at how women are incentivized to succeed in sports. Among other things, highly visible women in sports make themselves very available on social media for a largely male audience. Fascinating to see how that often plays out. Everyone makes themselves largely available on social media. This is a social medium. Sports are entertainment. Man, Laura Wagner is what's wrong with, I don't know. She's just what's wrong. I don't know what else to say. She's just what's wrong. I'm glad that Mina Kimes just dunked on her. Why are you talking shit? And who the fuck gets to decide what hot is? Get this chick out of here. What does she do? Let's look at her profile. She's a reporter at Defector. Oh, you don't know about Defector Media? I'll tell you guys about Defector Media. Have you ever heard of Defector Media? No, lean in. Defector Media is a bunch of sports writers who got fired or laid off at their papers, but they weren't good enough to be on The Athletic, so they defected. They took it into their own hands. And I'll bring up the website here. You can take a look at it. It's just like orange, and these guys are such douchebags. The last good website is its Twitter bio. Let's go to defector.com. Look, it's just sports. And it wants me to subscribe to these people who are not good enough to work at The Athletic or didn't want to. They took it into their own hands. They're telling the industry no. That woman, is shitting on other women in sports. Yeah, well, for all the women who are in male-dominated fields, fuck that lady. Okay, let's move on to a cool story. Tottenham Hotspur, when Tottenham win the cup, Harry Kane broke a Premier League record yesterday, and we'll play it here, even though it's going to get me banned.
Spurs, Benton Curtin lead the way. Kane, he finishes this time, and he finishes it.
There he is, Harry M.F. Kane.
For a handball at one end, and in the blink of an eye, Harry Kane has doubled Tottenham's lead.
Watch the highlight here.
Very close, but I think he looks okay because it's probably Lewis Duncan.
Just a little short side slip right there. That's an advertisement. Why are you like this, NBC? Harry Kane scores his 95th or something. I forget. I should have looked it up. 95th Premier League goal on the road. A record. Congratulations to Harry Kane. What a night for him. Tottenham beat Brighton. Liverpool beat Arsenal 2-0 yesterday. I love when there's this. April is the best time for sports all around. I just love April. March and April are great. There's so much going on. Let's take a look at the standings in the Premier League as we head down the stretch here. The top four are as follows. Man City, they are way out in front. Well, actually, they're not. They're only 1 point up on Liverpool. Liverpool win yesterday. Man City and Liverpool coming down the stretch for the Premier League title. They have a 10-point lead on Chelsea, who's in third place. Arsenal is in fourth place with 51 points, followed by Man United, who have 50 points, West Ham, who have 48 points, and Tottenham Hotspur, who have 48 points. Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal have not played a full amount of matches, so they'll probably be fighting for the top four. Man United has played more than most of the other clubs in Europe. Chelsea yesterday in Champions League in the round of 16, in the first leg of the round of 16, they beat LOSC, who I'm not 100% sure who that is. I have a lot to learn. Don't get mad at me. Christian Pulisic, American hero, with the goal to give Chelsea the 1-0 lead. They eventually... No, excuse me. Christian Pulisic ties the game. They eventually go on to win it 2-1. Little talking soccer update for you there. Little soccer update for you there. Tyler Bertuzzi is the hottest name right now in the NHL trade deadline. We're going to monitor that as well as Marc-Andre Fleury, Jacob DeBrusk, and Patrick Kane. A lot of big names and older guys can be on the move this year. The NHL trade deadline, NFL free agency continues. There's some Deshaun Watson news should probably break here. And, of course, March Madness coming up. So like, rate, review, subscribe. We'll be doing March Madness this entire time. You can find me on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.